All right, today I'm going to attempt to make my dirt bike street legal. I've been in the process of converting it to a street legal bike and decided on getting this street legal kit from Street OHV. I saw a lot of different street legal kits online, and I mean, they really range in price from you kind of piecemealing yourself together, which is probably the cheapest option, but it's you need to have a lot of electrical and mechanical knowledge, which I do not have. It's pretty basic. I can kind of muster things together, all the way up to like $550 I saw, but I wasn't quite sure that if I spent that much money, it would work on my bike. So this seemed like a really reasonable option. It's pretty compatible with all models, it seems, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. So this has the left and right turn signal indicators, the flashers. This is the back light, which does brake and the running lights, and then left and right flashers as well. Here's the flasher relay, the wiring harness. This is the actual like turn signal, horn, and turning the lights on and off. Okay, this is another on-off switch for the lights, the horn. This is the brake switch. It actually goes on your front brake. A lot of them I saw go on the back brake. Most of the ones that I saw were hydraulic back brake ones. I'm not sure if you could use them and switch it over to a front brake one. Like I said, I'm not the best mechanical person. Clearly, I'm a woman, so this goes in the front brake. I have a mechanical back brake, so this is going to work out perfect. It's for a hydraulic front brake. And then this is a rear view mirror. And then this, I believe, is for your license plate, which I don't have at this point in time. I want to make sure that I can convert it over to a street legal bike before I go ahead and get the title switched over to on-road and get the license and all that. Like I said, I'm going to attempt to do this first, and then I'll move forward and do that. The only kind of different thing I got was, and I bought this before I bought this kit, I tried to do it piecemeal and I realized that I am not intelligent enough to put it together. So I did get 2 different rear view mirrors. They're a little bit bigger. So I'm going to actually use these ones, which I got in before this, but this should have everything I need if I just went with this. Oh, minus the front headlight, which my bike, I already have a front headlight. It is supposed to do high and low beam, but it doesn't. We're just gonna see if that's all right with the DMV, because I don't really feel like putting on a new front headlight. So I went ahead and took all the plastics off. This is a Honda CRF230F. It came with a battery, a 12-volt battery. So I believe I just have to hook everything up to that, and then run it through the middle, and then put the lights on, and then the front switches. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take the main wiring harness, the end with most number of wires you're going to have at the front, and then you're going to string it through, staying as close to the frame as you can underneath the gas tank, and then you're gonna pop it up by where the battery and the airbox is. So I'm going to put this through. Okay, so I strung it through. Takes a little bit of monkeying around, and now it's popped out at the back here. I actually have quite a bit of wiring left. Okay, so next I put on the front turn indicator lights. Just put them on here. There's 3M tape behind it. You just tear it off, the little strip of paper that's hiding it, and then there's a zip tie. I went ahead and I wired them both up to the main wiring harness it comes with. So here's the 2 ends for it, and then they go into pretty much the multicolored ones. Let me show you there. Now, I'm not sure if they're wired correctly. I'm going to have to, after I wire everything up, turn the battery on, turn the lights on. If I do have them reversed, I'm just going to disconnect them and switch them, and then it should be just fine. Like I said, I don't have my license plate yet, but I'm going to put the back brake light and running lights back here somewhere whenever I do put my license plate on. I just strung the wire up through here and then connected them all. It's very self-explanatory. White goes to white, green goes to green, and so on and so forth. You can install the switch by removing the left hand grip. I know my bike is pretty whooped, so all it took was me pulling on it to get it off. Might be a little bit more difficult if your bike's nicer. But this guy, I haven't tightened it down yet. It is just a little screw in the back right there. This is a metric little hex set. It was a 3, fits in there. So I'm just gonna put it below this kill switch button that I have. I think it'll fit nicely there. And then I went ahead and wired it up. So I just ran the wire down through here. Once I'm done with all this, I'm obviously gonna zip tie it up, clean it up a bit if I can. And then all these just color coordinate and go together. There's 2, you can see there, blue and reds, and there's 2 whites. You'll know which goes to what because they're female and male ends, so I mean, obviously they're going to connect together. Pretty simple. All right, so now the front brake sensor is now installed. Pretty much all you need to do is just screw out the bolt that holds the brake line in. It's just right there. You screw that out, and then you screw in the sensor that comes in the kit. And that's it's threaded on the one end. That acts as the bolt that was in there. You want to make sure as you screw it out that this brake hose, that bolt goes through it. It holds it on there. This brake hose, you want to make sure that you hold it up or don't let it drop down at least because it's going to dump brake fluid out. You don't want to lose any more than it's just going to come out with unscrewing it. I put a little bucket down to catch some of the drips. Probably going to need to top it off with brake fluid after I'm done with all the wiring. But yeah, that just screws right in where you take the bolt out, and then this is the electrical line, the wiring comes down here, and then it just snaps into this main wiring harness area. Next, you can hook up the horn. This is directional. You need to make sure that they're on correctly. According to the picture, black's supposed to be on the left, and then white is supposed to be on the right, and I believe these are the correct ways that you are to insert the tabs. All right, the next thing to attach would be the battery connector. So you just plug the black end to the black end of the wiring harness back here, and then screw the red into the positive end and the black into the negative end. This is nice because it comes with a fuse. I can't open it with my one hand, but that's nice. So if it blows, you just have to change the fuse. The last thing that I did, actually there's 2 other things that I did. I already had this headlight on it. This comes wired with a black and a red. The wiring harness that comes with this kit, it had an extra little plug out area, I guess. I don't know, what do you want to call it, but it had a black end and a red end. What I did was I cut off, they come like this with the metal tips. Obviously my headlight doesn't come with those nice little metal ends that you can plug together. So I cut what came from this wiring harness and I stripped the ends. And I just connected the black to, there's actually 2 blacks that come with the kit, and then the red to the red, and I crimped them together, and then I'm going to go ahead and cover them with the electrical tape, but they are pretty tight. It's pretty simple just to put that together. And then I installed, where's this at? The flasher relay. This just plugs in. That's really the last plug that you have on here, so it's pretty simple. It's the whole red. There's 3 reds, and then that's a black and a red, but you just connect them together. So the last thing to do would be to check to make sure everything works. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the light on. Okay, so we'll go to the front. There's the headlight, the two front lights, and then there's my back light. And then let me do, flick it over to the left. There's left. There's left. All right, we'll do right. There's right. There's right. Oh, the horn is gonna be loud. Okay, we'll make sure it works. All right, that definitely works. Okay, so the last thing would be the brake, and I'm doubting, let me turn that off. Doubting it works because I know, yeah, there's no brake. But once I put some brake fluid in there, that should work as well. But yeah, it's, I mean, if I can install it, really anybody can install it. Obviously a lot to put together, clean it up. So yeah, it was pretty simple. All right, so I cleaned it up. I basically just put all of the front wires, hid them, zip tied them up behind the front number plate. And then I somewhat reran this back. So I put it up through there and ran it alongside the original wiring, just because it makes more sense that way, and it looks like there's going to be less pinch points when I put the seat on. And then I'll put obviously the battery plastics back on, but there's a good amount of space in there that this will fit in. So yeah, I think it turned out all right.